So we're in a spring wheat field about 4 miles west of New Salem, North Dakota. We're looking at about a 2-leaf stage. We're thinking about what weeds do we need to control, not only for in-season, but when this goes into soybeans next year, what weeds do we really want to make sure we're getting under control in this wheat field?
So weed control is never just a one-season situation. We got to do this multiple times. And looking at this field, one of the things that we have talked about as far as a weed would be we want to make sure that the broadleaves are controlled before we go to soybeans next year. And you know this area, Larry, what's probably the broadleaf that you most want to see knocked out as best possible before you go to beans next year?
The thing that would concern me most, although there's a lot of troublesome weeds, but the marestail is the thing that generally gives us the biggest headache, and a lot of times we don't catch it till it's later in the season, and then our options are such that we could have difficulties with the rotations going into the following season. That's why that's critical.
So if you have a farmer who's got marestail in a field, at this point, one of the things that I would strongly recommend them looking at from the Corteva lineup would be a product that contains RLX active. So perhaps QLEX. QLEX brings that RLX active as another group 4, but it is a different site of action that's great for the marestail control. And it's going to operate differently than anything else that you've used on the farm in the past. The nice thing about this RLX active as well is the rotational freedom of where you need to go the next year with whatever crop you might be going to. Soybeans, of course, is an outstanding choice. I'd also recommend that if you're going to spray your marestail, let's do that in the 4 to 6 inch weed stage, because the longer we wait, the bigger that marestail gets, the more growing points you have. With all those growing points, it's going to be a massive detraction to control because you're maybe not covering it enough with enough water. It's just getting to be too big for its good efficacy for control. So let's make sure we're hitting it in the 4 to 6 leaf stage. Use something new on there with a new site of action like the RLX active that's in QLEX. Any other comments you think we should add?
Oh, just make sure you spray it before you can see it from the road.
That would be ideal.